Success doesn't start with talent, money, or opportunity. It starts with truth. The moment you begin to lie to yourself, even in small ways, you begin to trade your potential for comfort. You start selling your future for a few moments of ease. See, the most dangerous lies aren't the ones told by others. They're the ones you whisper to yourself. They sound innocent. They sound logical. But they're the reason some people live average lives when greatness was within reach. You can't rise while holding on to deception. The truth may sting for a moment, but lies will poison you forever. So today, let's expose the lies that silently steal your success, one excuse at a time. The most expensive words in the world are, "I'll start tomorrow." They sound harmless. They sound reasonable. But behind those three little words lies the silent killer of dreams. Procrastination disguised as logic. Most people don't fail because they lack talent, opportunity, or intelligence. They fail because they keep waiting for a better time. They wait for Monday to start the diet, for the first of the month to start the plan, or for life to somehow calm down before they begin. But life never calms down. The schedule never clears. The perfect day never comes. Because tomorrow is the graveyard where dreams are buried. Let's face it, "I'll start tomorrow" feels good to say. It gives you instant relief. It tells your conscience, "I haven't given up. I'm just postponing." But every delay makes the mountain taller. Every excuse gives your future one more reason to doubt you. The habit of postponing, once practiced enough, becomes a lifestyle. A quiet pattern that steals your momentum one day at a time. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to get excited about a goal at night, to make grand plans before you sleep, and then somehow lose that fire by morning? That's because inspiration without immediate action fades faster than smoke. Emotion is meant to be converted into motion. If you don't act on your inspiration quickly, it evaporates and leaves you empty again. That's why successful people have one habit in common. They act now. Not perfectly, not completely, but immediately. They don't let someday become never. They know that later is not a time, it's an illusion. Think about a farmer. When planting season comes, he doesn't say, "I'll plant tomorrow," because he knows the ground waits for no man. If he delays, he misses the season. Success works the same way. Opportunities are seasonal. The door that's open today might be closed tomorrow. The energy you feel today might not return. The connection you could have made today might move on. You never know which moment carries the seed of your breakthrough. That's why you can't afford to wait. Now, why do we lie to ourselves with, "I'll start tomorrow"? Because it's easier to imagine success than to face the discomfort of starting. Starting requires courage. It requires admitting that today's actions have been less than they could be. And pride doesn't like that. So instead of changing, we comfort ourselves with delay. But that's not comfort. That's slow destruction. There's a saying, the second best time to start is now. The best time was yesterday, but since you can't go back, the next best moment is the one you're living in. Don't underestimate the power of today. One small action today can do more for your life than 1,000 perfect plans for tomorrow. Let's make it practical. If you've been planning to get in shape, do 10 push-ups today. If you've been planning to start a business, write the first paragraph of your plan today. If you've been planning to improve your finances, set aside your first dollar today. The action doesn't have to be big, it just has to be real. Because once you take the first step, momentum begins to work for you instead of against you. Remember this law: inactivity strengthens doubt, action strengthens belief. The more you wait, the weaker your confidence becomes. But the more you act, the louder your faith grows. Every little action says to your mind, "I mean it this time," and soon your mind starts to believe you again. There's also another danger in waiting for tomorrow. You may lose the hunger that drove you today. The dream that's hot in your heart right now can grow cold overnight if you don't feed it with action. Inspiration has an expiration date, so when you feel the spark, that's the universe saying now. Don't smother it with hesitation. Ask yourself this: how many dreams have you delayed that could have already been reality by now? How many tomorrows have come and gone while your goal sat waiting for you to begin? The truth is, life rewards urgency. The people who move fast don't always get it right, but they get results. Because motion creates clarity. You can always correct a moving ship, but you can't steer one that's anchored in fear. So if you've been lying to yourself with, "I'll start tomorrow," stop. Make today count. Send the message, make the call, write the page, take the step. Whatever your start looks like. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be now. Because one day you'll run out of tomorrows. And when that day comes, you don't want to look back and say, "I was just one decision away." You want to say, I started when it was hard, I acted when it was scary, and I built the life I wanted, one honest day at a time. If the truth is simple, you don't need a new day. You need a new decision. And the decision to start belongs to today. One of the most common lies people tell themselves, and perhaps the most believable one, is, I don't have time. It sounds like a statement of fact. It even feels true when life gets busy, when schedules overflow, when responsibilities pile up. But the truth is, you don't lack time, you lack priorities. Time is the great equalizer. Every human being on earth, from the billionaire to the beggar, gets 24 hours a day. No more, no less. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary things and those who simply exist isn't the number of hours. It's how those hours are used. Let's face it, I don't have time is almost never the truth. What it really means is, it's not important enough. When something truly matters, you find the time. When it doesn't, you find an excuse. Think about it. How many times have you said, I don't have time to exercise, yet somehow spent hours scrolling through your phone? How many times have you said, I don't have time to read, but never missed your favorite show? We all have time for what we truly value, and our schedule reveals our values more honestly than our words ever could. Here's the harsh truth. Time doesn't disappear. It gets traded. Every time you say, I don't have time, you're actually saying, I've chosen something else instead. And that's fine, as long as what you've chosen truly matters. But if what you're choosing is comfort, distraction, or laziness, then you're not short on time. You're short on discipline. The people who rise to success don't have more hours than you. They've simply mastered the art of saying no to what doesn't serve their vision. They protect their hours like treasure. They don't waste mornings on meaningless chatter or evenings on mindless entertainment. They understand that every hour is a piece of their future, spent once and never returned. Let me put it this way, time is like money. If you don't tell your money where to go, it disappears without a trace. The same is true for your time. Without a plan, it leaks away in small, invisible moments. A few minutes of gossip here, a few minutes of scrolling there. And by the end of the day, you've spent an entire fortune of hours and have nothing to show for it. So, what's the solution? It's not about finding more time. It's about making better use of the time you already have. Start with this simple rule and schedule your priorities. Don't prioritize your schedule. Most people fill their calendar with whatever comes up and then try to squeeze their dreams into the cracks. But the successful reverse that. They put the most important things first. Their growth, their goals, their health, and then fit everything else around it. If something is important, it deserves a place on your calendar. Don't leave your success to chance. Don't trust your memory to manage your destiny. Structure brings freedom. The discipline of planning your day gives you control over your life. Another truth is this: you always have time for what you do first. If your mornings are filled with meaningless distractions, don't be surprised when your goals never get done. The first hours of your day are powerful. They set the tone for everything that follows. Wake up earlier if you must, but guard that time for creation, not consumption. Use those quiet hours to build the life you want, not to watch the life of others online. Let's also talk about energy. Time without energy is useless. You can have the hours, but if your body and mind are tired, those hours will produce nothing. That's why taking care of your health isn't selfish, it's strategic. Rest, nutrition, and exercise are not time wasters, they're time multipliers. A sharp mind and strong body can do in 1 hour what a tired one can't do in 3. Now, here's a powerful exercise for the next 7 days. Write down everything you do from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep. Every minute, every habit. Then review it. You'll be shocked to see where your time actually goes. Awareness is the first step to mastery. You can't manage what you don't measure. And remember, this: busy is not the same as productive. Some people run all day and get nowhere, like a hamster on a wheel. Don't confuse activity with progress. The goal isn't to be busy. The goal is to be effective. Ask yourself daily, is this moving me closer to my vision or just keeping me occupied? Because in the end, life is nothing more than the sum of your hours. How you use them, how you waste them, how you invest them. Time is the raw material of achievement. Waste it, and you waste your potential. Use it wisely, and you become unstoppable. So next time you hear yourself say, I don't have time, stop. Tell yourself the truth instead. It's not that I don't have time. I'm just not making it a priority. Then make the change. Because one day the clock will stop. And when it does, the only thing that will matter is how you used the time you were given. You don't need more hours. You need more honesty about where they go. And when you stop lying to yourself about time, you'll find you have more than enough to build the life you truly want. One of the most deceptive lies that hold people back sounds so reasonable, so harmless, that most never question it. I'm just not ready yet. It feels wise, it feels mature. After all, who wants to start something before they're ready? But that single thought has quietly destroyed more dreams than fear, failure, or rejection combined. The truth is, you will never feel completely ready. Readiness isn't a destination, it's a decision. It's not something you arrive at before you start. It's something you grow into by starting. Think about it. When a child learns to walk, they don't wait until they've studied balance, muscle coordination, and physics. They simply wobble, fall, cry, and try again. Every fall teaches them balance. Every step teaches strength. They don't become ready before they walk. They become ready because they walk. Somewhere along the road to adulthood, we lose that spirit. We start believing we need more education, more money, more confidence, more approval, more something before we begin. So we sit, we plan, we wait, and while we wait, life moves on without us. The truth is that readiness is an illusion created by fear. Fear doesn't say, don't do it. Fear says, not yet, because not yet sounds smarter. It sounds logical, but it's the same old trap with a new name. Procrastination wearing a suit and tie. Let's be honest, if you waited until you felt completely ready for everything you've done, you'd never have done anything. You weren't ready for your first job, your first relationship, your first child, your first big responsibility, but you learned as you went. That's how growth happens. Not before the leap, but during it. The people you admire, the ones who seem fearless, they weren't ready either. They simply started anyway. They acted before they felt qualified, spoke before they felt confident, built before they felt equipped. And somewhere along the journey, courage grew in the place where fear used to live. That's the secret. Courage comes from action, not preparation. You can read every book on swimming, but you won't truly learn until you get in the water. The lesson begins where comfort ends. Waiting to be ready is like waiting for the sea to stop waving before you sail. You'll never leave the shore. The conditions will never be perfect. The wind will always be too strong or too weak, the sky too cloudy, the timing not quite right. Those who succeed simply sail anyway. Let's look deeper into why we crave readiness. Often it's because we don't want to fail. We want assurance. We want a guarantee that the step we're about to take will work. But life doesn't hand out guarantees. It hands out opportunities. The only guarantee is this: if you don't start, you'll never know what could have been. Here's the truth. Failure isn't the enemy. Waiting is. Failure moves you forward. Waiting keeps you stuck. When you fail, you learn, adjust, and improve. But when you wait, nothing happens. No progress, no feedback, no momentum. It's better to start imperfectly than to stay perfect in theory. So instead of saying, I'm not ready, try saying, I'll learn as I go. That simple shift of language changes everything. It turns fear into faith, hesitation into movement, and self-doubt into self-trust. Because once you begin, something magical happens. Resources appear, people help, doors open, and confidence grows. Life rewards movement. Remember this: you don't need to be great to start, but you do need to start to be great. Every master was once a beginner who took that uncomfortable first step. Every expert once fumbled through their first try. Readiness wasn't their starting point, it was their reward. The truth is, experience is the best teacher, but she only teaches those who show up for class. So show up. Make the call, start the project, launch the idea. Even if you stumble, you'll be miles ahead of the person still waiting for someday. Let's also address the hidden cost of waiting: momentum lost. The longer you delay, the heavier the start becomes. Action creates energy, and energy creates clarity. But when you stand still too long, even simple steps begin to feel impossible. That's why the best time to start is the moment the idea hits. When your spirit is still hot, when your heart still believes. Think about it: opportunity has a short shelf life. Inspiration fades. Circumstances change. People move on. If you don't seize the moment leaves you. So stop rehearsing your future. Begin living it. You don't need every answer, every dollar, or every plan. You just need enough faith to take the first step and enough discipline to keep walking. The path reveals itself to those who walk it, not to those who wait by the sidelines. One day you'll look back and realize that you were never as unready as you thought. You simply needed the courage to begin. Because success doesn't belong to the prepared. It belongs to the willing. And readiness isn't found before you start. It's built along the way, one brave decision at a time. So stop saying, I'm not ready. Say instead, I'm ready enough to begin. Then take the step and let the world meet the version of you that's finally brave enough to move.